Deadpool 2 is loaded with Easter eggs and references. While the film just came out and fans are still picking away and analyzing it, many a Deadpool fangirl and boy have noted some pretty major references that popped up in the movie, shouting out various things from Marvel Comics to pop culture in general. So today we're taking a second look with a part 2 list on the top 10 Easter eggs you missed in Deadpool 2. Be sure to take a look at our part 1 for more, and heads up, there are major spoilers in this list for the movie. You've been warned. And at number 10, Pryor's Treats. In the comics, there's one X-Men member who gets a lot of heat for generally sucking from time to time. Scott Summers, aka Cyclops. He's done a lot of shady shit in the past, including hooking up and marrying a clone of Jean Grey's, named Madeline Pryor. There's a reference to the character after the X-Force's skydiving scene in Deadpool 2. You can spot an ice cream truck with a logo that reads Pryor's Treats. The character was created by Mr. Sinister, who we also got a reference for in the movie, as we mentioned in our part 1 list. And fun fact, Pryor is also Cable's mother in the comics. And at number 9, Pina Colada. There are several nods to the MCU films and Fox X-Men films in Deadpool 2, most of which are satirical, but one nod that fans and critics have picked up on was the use of the Rupert Holmes song Escape, aka the Pina Colada song that heavily appears in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. It's potentially not the only Guardian shoutout too. Fans have also noted that the uniforms in the Essex house look a lot like the ones from Klin, the prison that appears in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. And at number 8, Zeitgeist and the X-Force. In our last part we mentioned Brad Pitt's short-lived tenure as Vanisher. He appears for a split second as the character when he dies, and his invisibility powers flounder. Many of the other members that Deadpool had collected for the X-Force in the film also die when they jump out of the helicopter, including one played by IT star Bill Skarsgård, Zeitgeist. In the comics, Zeitgeist suffers from a similar fate. He was part of the X-Force team that debuted in issue 116, and immediately died on his first mission, although we do get to see his backstory through flashbacks in that issue. He dies during a setup to get the X-Force some publicity by saving a kidnapped boy band, but the plan goes haywire when a helicopter opens fire on them, killing off the boy band members and most of the members of the newly formed X-Force. At the time, the issue shocked fans, since it spent the majority of its story introducing brand new characters, only to immediately kill them off. So you can see why Deadpool's take on that is pretty darn hilarious. And at number 7, Stan Lee. Despite making a cameo in the first Deadpool film, Stan Lee unfortunately was absent in the sequel. But the Marvel head honcho did get a pretty obvious Easter egg, in the form of some graffiti, with his face visible painted on a side of a building, during a shot where the prison truck drives into the city. Up next at 6, Barbra Streisand. There's a whole lot of references to Barbra Streisand in this film. For starters, when Wade and Vanessa decide to watch some porn, they put on Yentl, one of Streisand's most critically acclaimed films. Deadpool continues to make references to one of the songs in that film, Papa Can You Hear Me?
Papa, can you hear me? Papa, can you see me?
And how it got ripped off by Frozen's "Do you want to build a snowman?", which is a sentence that Deadpool utters later on in the movie.
Do you want to build a snowman?
If that wasn't enough babs for you, there's also a great little connection she has to the film outside of these references. Josh Brolin, who plays Cable, is also her stepson in real life. Barbaraception, anyone? And at number 5, Christopher Plummer. While on the note of discussing older famous people, another Easter egg in the film is a reference to Ridley Scott's recent film All the Money in the World. You know, the one that disgraced actor Kevin Spacey was in, but then after the news about him being a grade A creep came out, Ridley Scott just replaced him with Christopher Plummer and reshot all of his scenes. And then that Christopher Plummer replacing people and things meme was born? Yeah, that one. So in the news ticker during the report about Russell attacking the Essex home, one of the lines that passes reads, "Christopher Plummer refuses role in Deadpool 2. How is this super hilarious, you may be wondering? Well, aside from being mildly topical, many are taking this Easter egg to be a jab at TJ Miller, who plays Weasel in the series. Miller was recently accused of sexual assault, and was also arrested for calling in a fake bomb threat. Producers have stated that while they couldn't remove him from the film, it was too deep into post-production, he wouldn't be returning in Deadpool 3. And at number 4, Annoying Stepbrother. Fans were overjoyed to see that the speculation about whether or not Juggernaut would appear in Deadpool 2 turned out to be true. In one scene with the character, he's chatting with Russell, and he makes a comment about his annoying stepbrother who's in a wheelchair. This is a jab at Charles Xavier, who in the comics is stepbrothers with Juggernaut's alias Cain Marko. We do get to see James McAvoy as Xavier in a brief moment in the X-Mansion, as we mentioned during our part 1 list.
Don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut!
And at number 3, the gray suit. Fans of the X-Force comics, or rather the Uncanny X-Force series from 2010, may have picked up on a reference to Deadpool's uniform in the film. When Deadpool was a member of the team alongside Wolverine, Psylocke, Archangel, Phantom X, and Eva, he got a new variation of his suit in order to follow the team's color palette of gray and black. At the end of Deadpool 2, there's a nice little reference to this, with Deadpool's suit being covered in ash after Russell scorches him. Up next at number 2, Connor. While the Deadpool films are full of satire and parody, this one Easter egg has a whole lot of heart. You may remember back when the first Deadpool film came out, there was a news story about a boy named Connor McGrath, a 13-year-old fan of Deadpool who passed away from cancer after fighting it for 3 years. Ryan Reynolds had met him before he passed away through the Make-A-Wish Foundation, showing him an advanced screening of the first Deadpool film. In Deadpool 2, when Wade and Vanessa are discussing baby names, one of the names that Wade suggests is Connor, which was really touching. And last but not least, in our number 1 spot, Olivia Meredith. Perhaps one of the best Easter eggs in the film comes in the form of a nod to some famous felines. When Deadpool wakes up in Xavier's mansion, he's wearing a t-shirt that reads Olivia Meredith together forever. Olivia and Meredith are Olivia Benson and Meredith Grey, the names of Taylor Swift's cats, who are named after characters from Law & Order SVU and from Grey's Anatomy, like the most famous cats out there. Maybe minus Stubbs the cat, who was mayor of an Alaskan town for 20 years. Rest in peace, Stubbs. Alright, there we have it, friends. What other Easter eggs and references did you guys pick up on that we didn't include in both parts of our list? Which ones were your favorites? Let us know all of your thoughts and feels in those comments below. Now if you dug this video, please show some love by hitting that like button. Subscribe if you want to hang out with us some more. And be sure to give the playlist we have flashing on your screen right now a look if you'd like more Deadpool and Marvel videos. In the meantime, thanks for watching everybody. I'll catch you all in the next one.